Good morning, guys. Joseph Ojea here, the Freelance Cowboy. Today we're going to be talking about the first saddle mount on a horse and ride. Now, let me be completely clear with you guys here. This won't be the first time, it will be the second time, because on Saturday I worked with Newt, and the stable where I'm keeping him at, they had a wedding reception going on, so I wasn't going to break out the cameras and do all that for this. So I'm going to do it today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the process it is to putting a saddle on a horse for the first time that's green, a saddle pad, the saddle, and then followed by the ride. Okay guys, I just got him out the stall. I got the blanket right over here. I'm about to go pick it up, get back in frame, and then we'll see how he takes. So I'm just going to go off of how he acts and show you the whole process of eventually smoothly getting the pad on his back. Okay, he's still kind of wondering what this thing is. You know, this could be a mouth opening, going to eat him. Horses are always thinking about what's going to eat me. He's a prey animal. So I got to show him this isn't anything that's going to harm him. And eventually, let him smell it. Just let him get a feel for what this is, you know. That's how I look at it. Walk him towards it. If you can get a horse walking towards something, you know they're overcome with some fear and they're starting to figure it out. Not all the way, but if you can get a horse walking to something that they're afraid of or don't know what it is, you're doing something right. Okay, he started to move, started to try to run away. If this was the day before, I will say he would have backed up way harder. He would have frantically tried to pull away. Him kind of running by me is a new thing we started to do towards the end. Just kind of get him coming into me, controlling him nice and short with the lead rope, controlling him as best I can, containing him to an extent, getting it on him. Don't over exaggerate and overhype things. He comes into you, he's around you, throw the saddle pad on him. So you get it on him. Now he can start processing and learning, okay, this thing is on my back now. You know, it's going to enlighten him in some kind of way where he knows, hey, this thing isn't going to kill me. That's how I look at it. So the more times you do that, eventually he's going to understand, okay, this thing is nothing. And then eventually he's going to understand that this thing is a saddle pad for my saddle, so my owner can get on me and ride me. You know, that's how I see it. So just keep doing the process until it becomes second nature to a horse and smooth. So you can stand right here, just pull it off, keep it close to him, let him see it, let him check it out. Come again. Okay? Take it off again. Watch this. Stay close to his body, come right back on. Stay close, come up his neck, rub him with it, massage him, right back on. Then you come further again, let him see it, right back on. See, he's not even moving now, okay? Come a little further out, let him see it, talking to him, now he's not even moving. That's the process, guys. If you keep doing that, eventually, I'm telling you, that's how you train the horse. And he's going to be trained, and now he's going to know what the saddle pad is, and it ain't going to worry him. And remember, again, guys, like I said, always do everything on both sides. Most people, it's proper etiquette to work from the left side of your horse with mounting, saddling, everything you do. But always be prepared and train him on both sides so that way he truly knows and learns and understands what it is that's going on. See? Different side, different frame of mind. Got to do it on both sides. Now the saddle pad is on. He's getting to the point where it's pretty comfortable to him and he's used to it enough to continue on with the training. And now I'm going to move to the process of putting the saddle on. So you see, he kind of walked right into me again. He's still walking into me. Back. Teach them to back up when they get into your space. I'm okay with this for right now, just for right now, and this is why. If he's coming into me, he's coming into me for relief, and I want that. I want to know that my horse trusts me enough to, if he gets kind of emotionally worried, that I'm his safe place. I want to be his safe place. I want to be the person he knows, hey, if I'm in danger, that's my alpha, let me go to him. That's what this is. Now, I say I like that because I do want that connection. I do want that level of trust. So eventually, and I say eventually, but rather quickly, in the next week, maybe two, depending on how it goes, I'm not going to continue to allow that. I know I've got his trust. I know I've got his affection, and he relies on me for his safety. Once I had that down, you have to start setting barriers for horses, because if not, eventually they are going to start taking advantage of you. They will learn that I can push my alpha or master over, and they will. Okay, that's really quickly. I'll say this about whipping a horse. If I'm lunging a horse, like when I first start out, if I whip him a little bit to get him to go, even when I'm riding, versus spurs, which I will eventually start to use spurs. I actually have never used them, but I do believe it's a useful tool that I'm going to break out soon. But I use a split rein that's long enough to where if I'm clucking and I'm kicking him to go forward and he's not, I'm going to take my rein and I'm going to swing it around and I'm going to pap him on the rear end. And I'm going to come back over to the other side, smack him again. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You got to use common sense. But let me tell you what. This is an 800-pound horse. Okay, fully grown, they can be 1,200 or more. Okay, in the wild, the way these horses, the way they act as herd animals, they bite each other. They kick. I don't know if you ever saw a horse kick, but if you think that you can do anything to this horse to hurt him by whipping him, or kicking him too hard, for bear races I see, oh, you're kicking him too hard. I'm here to tell you, just point blank, period and simple, you cannot, that's not the case. Okay, yes, you can physically and mentally abuse an animal and get him in a place where you don't want him to be. Yes, you absolutely can do that. But as far as whipping your horse to get him to go forward or whatever it is you're trying to do, I'm for it. There's nothing wrong with it. You'll get him to go faster. You get him to go forward. It's just a good way to do it. So if you've ever thought that way, I'm telling you it's incorrect. And if you've ever had somebody telling you another way, hey, that's fine. I always come down to this one thing. You ride your horse, I'll ride mine. It's just that simple. It will save you so many headaches and so many... People's horse are their horse. Leave them alone about it. Unless they ask you, then tell them. If not, mind your business, ride your own horse, and I'll ride mine, and we will be just fine. But again, one last time, you're not gonna hurt this animal. Okay, so now if you saw he walked into me when I was getting ready to throw the saddle on, I took advantage of that situation because I need to get the saddle on his back. So if he's walking into me at a brisk pace because he's worried, hey, slip it on him, throw it on him, get it on his back, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back off and I'm going to put it back on. Exactly what I did with the saddle pad, I'm going to do with the saddle. It's a little bit harder because the saddle weighs probably 3 times or more as much, so it's hard to keep swinging it back and forth, but that is the same process and same routine. Okay, I'll show you one time here. Watch this. Okay, just kind of slide it off a little bit, put it back on. Do it again, come a little further, come a little further, put it back on. Okay, back up, back up. So make sure y'all can see, back up. Okay, now I'm going to come all the way off with it. And real quickly, just put it back on. And I'm going to repeat that process to the point where I can come out here with the saddle, holding it, and then walk up to him where he's not moving around and put it on him. Okay? Right now he's just checking out the saddle. He's figuring out what's on me. You know, totally normal. I'll let him walk around with it. And I'm going to do both sides until he's fluid and not worried about what's on his back. And then once I get this going, the last thing I'm going to do before I think about taking him out, I'm going to lunge him in circles. I'm going to get him going and make sure he knows what it's like to walk with this thing on his back. Make sure he's comfortable with it. Because the first time, I mean, he will start bucking with the saddle. It's just what horses do until they learn what it is and that it's okay. Get all of that out of him before you take him out in the pasture, and you should be okay. Okay, horse riding is always dangerous, so I'm never going to say you're going to be 100% perfectly fine. That's just not how this is. But for the most part, if you prep him, make sure he's ready and ready to perform whatever task you're going to ask him to do, things should go smoothly. See, I've already got him to the point where he knows what's going on right now and what I want him to do. So he's loping around in a circle, and I'm not having to tell him anything. That's very good, and that's what you want. And once I get him going this side enough times, I'm going to just turn him around to the other side. See, he's thinking about, he's a little worried about the whip. I've come to notice he's worrying about what else he needs to be doing. So I'm going to just keep doing this until he goes in a circle, understands what's going on, and then he'll continue on his own. Just like that. He stops, so I come back, keep going. Keep him going. Cool. You know what I want? Good. Good boy. If he does that enough times, I'm going to stay on him until he catches his rhythm. And then I'll go right back to allowing him the opportunity to do it on his own like I want him to. Once he does that, now I know I have his full attention again. He's not worried about anything, and he's just listening to commands that I have him doing. If I start to lose his attention at any point, I wouldn't be talking normally when I'm doing this, but if I start to lose his attention, just point him in the direction I want him going and let him start again. That's what you want. All right, I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to put his lead rope back up on his neck, and then I'll start it again out in the pasture with me taking him for some loops. Oh. Good. I'm going to step on up. I'm going to walk him around this fence line, up that fence line right there, and I'm going to trot him back. He's standing nice and still for me. I love that. Good mount, no movement. And when you're starting off, what you want to do is when you mount, you want to make sure to keep him still so he doesn't get in a habit of taking off as soon as you get on him. Then he'll start taking off before you get on him, and right after you get on him. It's just, you don't want to deal with that. You want a nice still horse so you can get on him. He's still not moving until you give him the command to go. Okay? All right, I'm going to take off.